Что такие резинки? Лиля, отправляй руки, все нормально у нее? Настя,
Що?
Лиля, отправляй руки.
Да.
Дивиться, то заходить у ту програму, школьну, да?
Ні, вона їй все, крім англійського, відправляє вона в Viber. Смысл ей открывать?
Hello. Hi.
Hi.
Hello, how are you doing? I see Alina is here.
Yes.
Anastasia is here. iPhone 789. Who's that?
Причем Олег Викторович, не могу понять.
Okay. And who is Oleg? Okay. All right. Oleg, are you here? No. Okay. Alina, how are you? How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm all right. Thank you. So could you watch the I don't know, animation or the cartoon, I guess? Could you?
Actually, I watched the movie because I found the cartoon and it was like 1945.
Yeah, it was pretty old.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I watched a movie.
So, okay. How was it?
I like it. It was sometimes a little bit scary, but it was funny. I like it.
What part of the movie did you like the most?
I don't have such. I like the movie as a whole, and actually I found a lot of interesting phrases and probably useful phrases for me.
Can you share some of those phrases with us?
For example, I have huffed and puffed. It means I tried. Then, for example, also we have in Ukrainian like different phrase like with English. It's the tingling feeling when your foot falls asleep. It
so
also
different from Ukrainian.
Different from Ukrainian.
Okay.
Yes, and for example, no pearls of wisdom. Also, I like this one.
And its meaning?
To share your wise thoughts.
Yes, to share your logical thought. It's like that. Okay. Yes. Okay. Good. Yes. Very well. Anastasia, what about you? Are you there? Oh my God! Why today is like that? So I don't understand. Who's up now here? Sona. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm okay. Thank you. Thank you for asking. Okay. So generally now we have only Alina and Sona. Okay. So Sona, could you watch the movie?
I watched this movie very long times ago.
And what's your idea about it?
It's really kind movie.
And is it about? I mean, is it related to your childhood?
Yes. I watched
in your childhood. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. So let's just start our lesson. We are going to talk about something spooky. Do you know what does a spooky mean?
No.
No. Okay, it's okay. I'm going to share my screen with you. Okay, do you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, that's very good. All right. So, first of all, I want to ask you, Sona and Elena, do you believe in ghosts?
I think no, but maybe they exist. But actually, I don't believe in ghosts.
Okay. What about you, Elena?
It was me.
Sorry, but Sona, sorry.
I agree with Elena. I think maybe it exists, but I don't sure it's really.
You aren't sure that it exists. Okay. All right. Now we are going to read something, these 3 texts, and then we will listen to some stories about these kind of things. So let's get started. Let's read this text. Elena, please read this one. Noises in the night.
About 6 months ago, my husband Ross and I moved into a house in the country. Our house is the middle one of the 3 traced houses, and it's more than 100 years old. A young couple live in the house on our right, but the house on our left was empty and for sale.
Yes, Sona, please, next text.
The strange object on the hill. This happened when I was 16, and I can still remember it vividly.
What does vividly mean?
I don't know.
Vividly means clearly.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
It was a clear morning, sunny but with a breeze. I was going to meet a school friend to go walking in the hills where there were some wonderful views. I'd agreed to meet him at the top of one of the hills.
Okay. Now, Elena, next text. Wait a second. No, sorry, not next text. Sorry. Okay, so these 2 texts. Now, what we are going to do is that we are going to read the rest of these stories to see what will happen. But what do you think? What is common? What do you think they might have in common, both of these stories?
Maybe they met a ghost.
Okay, maybe they will see a ghost. We'll see.
Yes.
I see Dasha is here. Dasha, are you here? Okay. So let's go to page 104. So, Elena, you read this text, please, here.
Okay.
If I'm here, we had.
Okay. We have been living in the house for about 2 months when we were both suddenly woken up in the middle of the night by a loud noise. We could hear the sound of furniture being moved in the empty house next door. It sounded as if somebody was moving something very heavy, like a table or a bed, by dragging it across the floor.
Okay, what does dragging mean?
Maybe moving?
Yeah, it's like pulling something.
Pulling.
Okay.
I looked at my watch. I said to Russ, "What are they doing moving? What are they doing moving furniture at this time of the night? It must be the new owners. I'll complain to them tomorrow." Just then the noise stopped, but 5 minutes later it started again, and this time it carried on for several minutes.
Okay, what does it mean? It carried on for several minutes.
Lasts.
Yeah, it continued. It continued. Okay.
Finally, it stopped completely, and we were able to go back to sleep. The next morning, I rang the doorbell next door, but there was no answer. And when I looked through the curtains, the house still looked completely empty. I called the estate agent and asked him if he had come to the house the previous night to move furniture. He said that he hasn't, and he was as mystified as us about the noises.
What does mystified mean?
like surprised in negative aspect.
Yeah, it's coming from the word mystery. When you are confused and you don't know what's going on. Okay. Let's continue.
I asked the estate agent who had lived in the house previously, and he told me that an old lady had been living there for many years, but she had suddenly died a few months ago. I don't really believe in ghosts, but Russ and I can find no logical explanation to the noises we heard that night.
Okay.
Carol Kent.
Okay, good.
Excuse me, I introduced. I have to go now.
It's okay.
And yes.
Sure. It's okay.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Have a nice day. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. I see Dasha here, but she's not responding.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
Okay,
Hello.
it's good. Hello. Hi. Yes, we are talking about ghosts, and it's partially related to the movie that you watched previously. Could you watch the movie?
Yeah, I watched it.
How was it?
Oh, it was okay, and I watched it some years ago, not yesterday, before the speaking club, but I watched it. I like this movie. It's really, really funny, I think, and positive.
Okay, Elena, what do you think? What about the text that you have just read? What do you think about it? What's your idea?
You mean explain what is the text about? Or
yeah, no, I mean, what's your idea? What can be the cause? Do you believe in what you just read? Do you think that it can be the ghost of that woman, old woman, or it's just something else?
Maybe it's a ghost, but actually it can be like rats or cats or animals, or just, I don't know, something fall down and then maybe through the broken window the wind blows and so on. There can be a lot of explanations.
Okay, yeah. So, Dasha, please read this text. The strange object
on the hill. Yeah. So this happened when I was 16, and I can still remember it vividly.
What does it mean? Do you know vividly?
I understand it in Russian, but I think I can't explain it. No, not obviously.
Yes, obviously. Or clearly, yeah.
Clearly. It was a clear morning, sunny, but with a breeze.
What is a breeze?
It's like a small wind.
It's a cold, slow kind of wind.
Cold.
For example, when you go to the beach, if it's, for example, in the spring, you will have a breeze in there. Okay.
Okay. I was going to meet a school friend to go walking in the hills where there were some wonderful views. I agreed to meet him at the top of one of the hills. I knew those hills really well, but that morning there was a strange shape in the familiar.
What does familiar mean?
With which you are used to? With which you are used to?
Not used to, things you know, things you knew before.
Okay. It was a mile or so to the north, on the top of the next hill. It was a white it was a white object, and it looked like a dome or an igloo.
What is dome?
Dome. Smoke?
No. Dome is like here. A circular thing or a building with round roof and flat base. If you look at the churches, especially here, these special churches, there is kind of circular thing above them. That's called dome.
Okay. Or igloo. Igloo, it's
the same.
The same.
Yeah.
I was carrying binoculars.
Yeah.
Binoculars.
Or binoculars. What does it mean? Do you know?
Special stuff that we use to look far. So I could see it clearly. It was big, the size of the small house, but it didn't seem to have any doors or windows, and it wasn't moving in spite of the wind. in spite of the wind. Then I noticed that some sheep which were on that hill were running away from it. They seemed really frightened. I kept staring at the dome. Then suddenly it began to move. It moved slowly and not in the direction.
Both of them are correct. Direction and direction, yeah.
Okay, so a direction of the wind, but almost directly against it. It looked as if it might be gliding a few inches above the glass.
Inches above.
I don't know this word.
Yeah, inch is like centimeter, but another measurement. Okay. So gliding is something which is like, how can I say? You can say this one. Verb, it's a verb, moving smoothly and quietly as if it with no effort. So have you heard the word glider?
It's person.
No. Glider is a person? No, is something that we use to fly, but you can't fly.
I understand. Yeah.
So it's gliding. It's like that.
Glider. Okay. A few seconds later, the dome disappeared. I never saw it again. I had watched it for 15 minutes. When my friend arrived, I asked him if he had seen the object too, but he didn't. Oh, he hadn't. He had been coming for a different direction. I have told any few people about what I saw. One of them, a friend of mine who is a doctor, is convinced. Yep.
Convinced? What does it
convinced. Mean? Sure. No, not sure. Convinced. See,
do you know any synonym?
No.
What about you, Alina? What do you think?
Convinced is to make somebody like think the same as you.
And do you know any synonym?
Persuade. Yes, persuade. Yes.
Dasha,
okay.
do you know the word persuade?
No, I heard this word.
Convinced.
Yeah, but that one, no.
Okay, so imagine that I want to sell my house, okay? I want to give it to you with $100,000, okay? But you don't like this price. You say you think that it's very expensive. I tell you, okay, I'll bring it down to 99, for example, $1,000. Then you will say, okay, maybe you have to give me some more off. I will tell you that no, it's not possible. But for example, I give you these options, these, and then at the end, I will say that okay, let's deal with these options. You say, okay, that's fine. So now you are persuaded or you are convinced to buy my house. Okay.
I see. Okay, thank you. So that was hallucinating. No?
Hallucinating. What does it mean, hallucinating?
No, I don't know.
Okay, it's seeing or hearing things that are not really there because of an illness or drug. So, for example, imagine you take a lot of medicines that makes you think things that does not exist, about things that do not exist in fact. So now then you are hallucinating. You are seeing things that they do not exist in fact. Or people who drink, they are so. Okay.
We have the same one in Russian.
Okay. Hallucinating. Like okay.
Hallucination. So, but I was sure that was I saw wasn't a hallucination. Yes. It was really there. Okay. Yeah,
okay. So, what do you think about this story?
The story about the house and the ghost. I think the story could be true. I believe in ghosts.
You believe?
Yeah. So to be honest, I believe. Yeah.
Have you ever been in a situation that you, for example, about your personal experience?
Oh, no, but I had seen something unusual in the sky when I was a child, but I don't know, was it my imagination or was it true? So, but I believe something unusual, so that's why. I think it could be.
Okay, yeah. Sure. Now let's read this story, the coffee cup reading. Okay. Alina, please hear. I went to Turkey.
I went to Turkey a few years ago with a colleague called Chris. We'd been sent there by the British Council to train secondary school teachers in a school on the outskirts of Istanbul. While I was there, I decided to go and see an old friend of mine and a young Turkish woman called Fatas. Fatash, who I hadn't seen for several years. I called her and we agreed to meet in a hotel in the center of Istanbul. Chris came too, and the three of us had a very pleasant dinner together. Pleasant dinner together. After dinner, we ordered Turkish coffee and we chatted for a while until Fatosh suddenly asked me, "Would you like me to read your coffee cup?" I refused politely because, to be honest, I don't really believe in clairvoyance.
Yeah, I don't know what is that. Clairvoyance and fortune-telling.
But Chris immediately said he would be happy for her. He would be happy for her to read his coffee cup.
Coffee cup, yeah. Okay. So, what about you? Do you believe in coffee cup reading?
Probably. I don't know. Maybe. Yes, once, but it was like a joke.
And did it happen?
No, of course.
No, it didn't. Okay. What about you, Dasha? Do you believe in coffee cup reading?
Yeah.
You believe? So have you done this before?
Yeah, we had done it, but many years ago when I was at university with my with my friends. We just had girls' evening. How to say it?
Yeah.
Girls' party.
Yeah.
So it was just 1 second. It was about midnight, and we had an idea. We decided to drink a cup of coffee, and then we had an idea to do the coffee cup reading. So it was maybe just for laugh, but I think it could help us to understand our future plans, maybe to deep into our mind and to understand what are we thinking about at this moment, or is this...
Could you guess anything that happened in the future?
Maybe sometimes, but it's like a prediction, just not guess.
I see.
So, yeah. I just analyze some moments of my life, and then I understand what could be, what could happen.
Okay.
So that's it.
That's very good. Now we are going to listen to the rest of this story about the Fatash to see what will happen. Then afterward, I will ask you these questions. So listen attentively, okay? It's 1B, 110. Do you hear the sound?
No.
You don't hear it?
No.
No? Okay, let me do it again. Okay, so I guess now you must hear it.
1.10.
What about now?
No,
Yes.
Fatosh began to look very carefully at the coffee grounds in Chris's cup and to tell him what she could see. I remember that the first thing she said was that she could see sacks of money. And this was very accurate because Chris had worked in Saudi Arabia for several years and had earned a lot of money there. She also said that she could see a blonde lady. Well, Carla, Chris's girlfriend at the time, was blonde, so that was spot on too. But then...
Okay, he said accurate. What does accurate mean?
Particular.
What else do you know? Precise. Accurate means precise. Means very... and also the word spot on. What does a spot on mean?
I don't know.
Spot on means that something is correct. Spot on. Also, the word accurate means precisely. Okay, accurately, precisely. Do you know the word precise?
Precise.
Okay, you don't know the word precise. Okay, so it's fine. Imagine a surgeon. Okay, a surgeon doing a surgery inside someone's body. What kind of characteristic does he need for performing the operation in the best way possible?
Accuracy.
Accuracy. Okay, what does that mean? Needs to be careful. Yes.
Yes.
Needs to do everything very precisely. Very precisely. Okay, like slowly, very carefully. That's called precisely or accurately. Okay. And he needs to be spot on. Why? Because he shouldn't cut other part of the body, because we need this part to be cured. Okay.
Fatosh suddenly looked very serious, and she said, I can see somebody in your family who is ill, very ill, at this moment. I remember thinking, oh no, don't ruin a nice evening. But Chris is quite a laid-back sort of person, and he didn't seem to be too worried by what she'd said.
Okay, he said that Chris is quite a laid-back person. What does laid-back mean?
Maybe those who forget fast everything bad.
No,
No.
laid-back. A laid-back person?
Shy maybe person who doesn't
No.
share his problems with others.
No, it's not that.
Oh, I don't know.
Laid back is a person who is lazy.
Oh.
It's like this. Laid. It's hard for me to write here. Laid back. So it's a person who is lazy and doesn't do anything at all. Okay. All right. So let's continue.
He just said, well, as far as I know, the people in my family are okay. Chris is an only child, and his mother lived with her sister in London. They were both in their 70s. Fatosh said one or two more things, and then we asked the waiter for the bill and said our goodbyes. It was a slightly weird end to what had been a very enjoyable evening. I can remember feeling quite relieved that I had said no when Fatosh asked me if she could read my coffee cup. Chris and I got a taxi back to our hotel. The next day, Chris had a free morning because it was my turn to do the teacher training session in the hotel, so he went off early to go sightseeing in Istanbul. Around 9 o'clock, I got a call on my mobile. It was Chris's girlfriend, Carla, calling from the UK. She told me that she needed to talk to Chris urgently, but that he wasn't answering his mobile. I could tell by her voice that she had some very bad news for him, and I immediately thought of what Fatosh had said the night before, and I felt a shiver run down my spine. I asked Carla what had happened.
I felt a shiver run down my spine. What does it mean, a shiver?
It's like, I know the Ukrainian translation.
Yeah.
Shiver
It's like-
means shakings.
Yes.
Yeah? So it's like the word shaking.
She told me that Chris's aunt had died suddenly in the night. So, was it just a spooky coincidence, or did Fatosh really see what she said she saw in the coffee?
Okay, he says, was it only a spooky coincidence? A spooky coincidence. First of all, what does coincidence mean?
I know
What?
translation.
You know, yeah, I know to translate it.
Yeah,
in
so
Russian.
coincidence is something that happens, yeah, and very unlikely things that happen or occur. They are coincidence, yeah. And spooky means weird or very mysterious, something mysterious or very like you when you see a ghost, it's very spooky, isn't it? It's a little bit scary, and it's also called spooky. Okay.
Up. I spoke to her before I left Istanbul, and I told her that Chris's aunt had died the night that we had dinner. She wasn't at all surprised, and she just said, yes, I saw in the cup that someone in his family was near to death, but I didn't want to frighten him, so I just said that the person was very ill. All I can say is that I always used to be very skeptical about fortune-telling, but now, well, I'm not so sure.
Okay. A skeptical. What does a skeptical mean?
Or doesn't believe. For
Mhm.
example,
Yeah, like
instance.
I adopt. When you're skeptical, you adopt about that, and you don't believe in that very easily. Yeah. Okay. And I'm not so sure means I'm not sure anymore. Okay. Now let's answer this question. Alina, the first question is yours. What were the first two things Fatosh saw in Chris's coffee cup, and were they accurate?
The first thing she said about success of money, and the second about blondie girl who was Chris's girlfriend, and she was accurate because
Okay.
he was succeed in his job in Istanbul, and he has
In Dubai, in fact. Okay.
in Dubai, yeah. And he has fair hair girlfriend,
Not fair, blonde.
blonde. Is it a difference between fair hair and blonde?
Fair hair is like wavy hair.
Wavy?
Maybe.
Really?
Yeah.
I saw that fair hair is like light color.
Yeah, light color, but also wavy, we say.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that.
Okay, and it's not curly, but it's wavy, and also light color, but it's not blonde. Blonde is blonde. Okay. Okay. Number two. You, Dasha, please.
Okay. What was the third thing she saw? She said that somebody in his family is very ill at this moment, and that's all.
Okay. And Alina, next question.
What did Chris and Adam react to this? Chris didn't worry about it very much because he was laid back.
He was a laid back person.
A laid back person, yes. And Adam, he didn't believe in everything like this. He was skeptical.
Good. Dasha, next question.
A second. Okay. 5. Yeah. Sorry. Okay. Where did Chris go the next morning? Oh, next morning. He it was something like he went sightseeing to Istanbul.
Yes.
Okay, and that's all.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Next question, Alina.
Who called Adam and why? That was Chris's girlfriend, and she called that she has bad news for Chris, and Chris doesn't pick up the phone.
Okay. Yes. Next question, Dasha.
Okay, what was the bad news? The bad news was that his aunt had died the night before. Yeah. It was exactly at the moment when they had dinner.
Yeah. Okay, please, Alina.
How did Fatosh react to what had happened? She wasn't surprised, and she said that that's what I was talking about.
Okay, and you, Dasha, last question.
How does Adam feel about the experience? Adam, it was the speaker, yeah. He said that he was skeptical before about coffee cup tellers.
Reading.
Reading, coffee cup reading. But now he isn't sure about it, and I think he can change his mind about this.
Sure. Okay. Thank you. All right. Good. What's your idea about this story? Do you think that this can be true generally?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So here, well, Carla, Chris' girlfriend at the time was blonde, so that was a spot on too. That was a spot on too, means that was correct as well. But Chris is a quite laid back sort of person, and he didn't seem to be too worried about what she said. Yeah, what she had said. So it was a slightly spooky end to what had been a very enjoyable evening. I'm not sure it was a spooky here, but whatever. Okay. So let's listen to these two last things because these are related to
1.11. 1.
Well, Carla, Chris's girlfriend at the time, was blonde, so that was spot on too.
Spot on.
2.
But Chris is quite a laid-back sort of person, and he didn't seem to be too worried by what she'd said.
3.
It was a slightly weird end to what had been a very enjoyable evening.
So it was weird.
4.
So, was it just a spooky coincidence?
A spooky coincidence?
5.
I always used to be very skeptical about fortune-telling.
I used to be very skeptical about fortune-telling. Okay, good. Now, first of all, which of the 3 stories do you find the spookiest?
Probably the last one.
The last one? What about you, Dasha?
Oh, I think the first one, if I catched the idea of the story right, it was about the noise in the next door room. Yeah, was it about it?
Yes, yes.
It is the most frightened for me if I'm at home alone and I can hear something in the room next door. So that's why, yeah, it's the most spooky.
Okay. All right. And can you think of any possible explanation for what happened in each story, Elena?
As I said about the first story, I think that it could be a wild animal, or maybe it could be cat or rat, and so on. And about the last story, maybe it's a coincidence.
Maybe it was a
coincidence because that aunt was like ill during probably the long period of time. And, it was like the end of her life, but this Fatash, just I don't know.
And that guy who saw something crazy on the hill was just hallucinated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Dasha, do you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, maybe.
Okay. Have you or anybody you know seen or heard something which can't be explained, like a UFO, a ghost, any of your friends?
Oh yeah, my mom. Yeah. When she was a girl, I don't know, is it true? But she said that she is. So my mom and my godfather are from another country. So they went by.
Godfather?
Godfather is father who in a church. It's not. I don't know how to say it, Godfather. Can you help me, Alina? Yeah.
Alina. Actually, I know also this Godfather. Yes, when you this person holds you when you are baptized in your childhood.
Yeah.
So it's a Godfather.
It's called Godfather. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So and they were in the train when they were children, and they saw something. A spaceship, something like a spaceship, like a plate, we call it in Ukraine. It was above the forest. So they saw the same picture, and nobody believed them, but they both told the story to their parents, and then told me the story, and it is really interesting to know is it true. I still don't know. But they can't explain this because they say that it is true, and they saw that they both really saw the same thing.
Same things, yeah?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. Sona is back. Who is
Yes.
Mehdi? Mehdi?
Yes, yes.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm all right, thank you. I guess this is our first session. Could you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, I'm Mehdi. I am 23 years old.
Uh-huh.
I sit in a car now because I don't hear.
Okay, and what about can you tell us more about yourself? What are you studying? And like, are you a student? Are you working?
Yeah, I'm student. I'm working.
Uh-huh.
I'm student in Khadin automobile, engineering automobile,
Mhm,
automobile.
mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. All right, thank you. All right,
Thank
Sona,
you.
are you back here or you may go again?
No, I'm back.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Maybe I'm back.
Okay. All right. All right. So I want to ask Sona about this question. So have you or anybody seen or heard something which you can't explain, like something weird?
No,
No,
never.
everything. Okay.
No.
Okay. So reacting to a story about something strange, how can you react to these situations? When somebody talks about something strange or difficult to explain, we often react with these phrases like, how scoopy is that? That's weird. Yeah, like that. Or that's bizarre. Do you know what does bizarre mean? Bizarre means weird, strange. Okay. How odd? Odd again means strange. That's odd. Means extraordinary. Odd. Weird again, spooky. All mean the same. So you can use how or that's, and then to react to the situation. How spooky, how bizarre is that, isn't it? Okay, so these are the way you can react to some situations. Now we are going to talk about auxiliary verbs. Do you know what is auxiliary verb?
Yeah.
Can you name some?
Did, do, will.
Is
Okay.
are.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. So please, each of you put one correct auxiliary verb in these blank spaces. Alina, first.
I heard a noise in the middle of the night. Did you? What kind of noise?
Yeah, did you? What kind of noise? Okay, so like a question. All right, good. Sona, please, next, number 2.
You don't believe in ghosts, do you? No, I don't.
Do you? No, I don't. Okay. Number 3, Dasha.
I don't believe you really saw UFO. I do see one. It couldn't be in anything
Okay,
else.
I did see one.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I did see one.
Okay. Mehdi, number 4, please.
You've never been to a fortune teller, neither was I.
No.
Have
So,
I?
neither have I. Okay, or neither have I. Okay, C.
I do it. I do. It was really interesting.
No.
I did.
No.
No, not I did. No.
I have. It's the third person, so he said.
Yes, I have. I have. It was really
Yeah.
interesting. Okay, so whatever you see in the first sentence, you will answer the same way. I have never been to a fortune teller. Neither have I. Then the other person will say, I have. It was really interesting. Okay. So each of these sentences, as you can see, each of these like conversations or dialogues, they actually are implying or conveying a special kind of meaning. So in first, I heard a noise in the middle of the night. Did you or didn't you? Here was did you. So why do we say so? Did you? We want to make sure. We want to emphasize something, okay? Now, you don't believe in ghosts, do you? Now, when we ask this way, this is called question tag. For question tag, we have two variants of reading something. The first variant is when you actually lower your volume of sound. You say like this: you don't believe in ghosts, do you? Yeah, like that. This is not a real question. We just want to ask the other person to agree with us, okay? Another way is, you don't believe in ghosts, do you? This is a real question. So now you want other person to answer it. Okay, and another one, I did see one. I did see one. This is emphatic do. So when you want to emphasize your verb, you use do, did, does, all of them to emphasize that this happened. Now, another example. For example, you are in metro. You see an old person who is barely standing. Means hard. It's hard for him to stand. So you want to offer your seat to him. How do you say that with emphatic do to make that person to sit in your instead of you?
Would you like to sit?
No, I mean with do and does and did. With emphatic do and does.
Do.
What do you think? How can you offer it this way?
Don't you want to sit? Do?
No. How do you say without that? You say, take a seat, please. Take a seat, please. Okay. Now you want to emphasize it. How do you emphasize with do and does?
Do take your seat.
Do take a seat, please. Do take a seat, please. Means, please take a seat. For sure, you're emphasizing that. Please take a seat, please. I don't think that you can stand for a long time. Okay. Do take a seat, please. All right. I have never been to a fortune teller. Neither have I. This is for when you want to say, me too. I haven't been as well. And you say, I have. You want to say that I have been, not like you. Okay. All right. Good. Now let's do some grammar. 134. So as I have already explained for you all of these things, we will just start to fill in the gaps, okay? So Alina, please, number 1.
Read the example.
Yeah.
You didn't remember to buy coffee. I did remember. It's in a cupboard.
Okay, what's the usage here? I did remember.
It's emphasize.
Yes, emphasizing.
Yes. He's booked the flight. He's booked the flight, isn't he?
He has booked the flight.
Has. I'm sorry. Has he? Yes, I think so.
Okay. Good. Next. Please, Dasha.
Okay. It's hot day. Is it? Yes, it's bowling.
Isn't it?
Isn't it? Yes, it's bowling.
Okay, so in question tag, the first part of the sentence is positive. The second part is negative. If the first part is negative, the second part is positive. Okay. So they are actually opposite to each other. If here is positive, here negative. If here is negative, here is positive. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, good. Thank you. Sona, please, number 3.
Why didn't you go to the meeting? I don't know what to say.
You want to emphasize that you went.
Just I went to the meeting, but I left early.
I
did go to the meeting.
Okay.
You want to say that? Yeah, I went there. For sure, I went there. So you say, I did go to the meeting, but I left early. Okay?
Yes, I understand.
Okay. Mehdi, number 4.
I wouldn't like to be a celebrity. Neither
celebrity. Okay.
Celebrity, yeah. Neither was I.
No. What do you see here?
I wouldn't.
No, this is would. Neither. Would I?
Would I?
Yeah. Would I? Okay. Cool. All right, Elena, please, number 4. Number 5.
Emma doesn't like me. She does like you. She
Good
just
job.
doesn't want to go out with you.
So we want to emphasize she does like you. For sure she loves you. Okay. All right, good. Number 6. Dasha?
Mike is arriving tomorrow. Is he? I thought he was arriving today.
Okay. All right. Now next. 7.
It's for me?
Yeah, it's for Sona.
Okay.
Sorry.
What did you think of the film? Tom liked it, but I didn't. I thought it was awful.
Okay. Mehdi, number 8.
Are you a vegetarian? Yes, I am, and so do my boyfriend. Yeah.
No.
It's vocabulary. Yes.
What do you think, others?
Is.
And so is my boyfriend. So is means my boyfriend as well. Because boyfriend is a he, so is he is. Yeah, it's like that. Okay, next. Elena?
You'll remember to call me, won't you? Yes, of course.
Yes, okay. And next, Dasha? Dasha, are you here?
Yeah. Sorry. I really want to go to Egypt, but unfortunately my husband, 1 second. I really want to go to Egypt. Doesn't, sorry.
Doesn't, yes.
He
Doesn't.
hates the heat.
Yes, okay, good. Okay, let's do here, Sona, this one.
I can. Oh, just a second. It's a great club, isn't it?
Okay, what way? Do you read it the first way or the second way? We have 2 ways for reading question tags. Do you lower your sound, you make a real question, or you want to ask someone to agree with you?
I think I ask.
No, in here you don't ask. You want someone to agree with you. Because you are saying you're actually saying your idea. It's a great club, isn't it? Like this, yeah? This is not a real question. If it was a real question, it's a great club, isn't it? It's weird. We don't say so because we want to ask someone to agree with our opinion. We don't make a real question. We don't ask a real question here. Okay, good. Mehdi, next.
It's where is it? It's B. Yeah.
Yes. Well,
it's okay, but I don't like the music much. Are you?
No.
You are.
Do you?
Do you?
I don't.
Do you? Did you?
No. Don't you? Don't you?
Don't you?
Yeah, because we are asking to make sure. Don't you really like the music? I love it. I have never been here before. Okay. All right, Elena.
Neither have I. I don't go clubbing very often.
Okay, Dasha.
Oh, don't you? Oh, stop 1 second. Oh, I don't go clubbing very often. Oh, I don't know. Oh,
Don't you? It's correct.
It was correct.
Yeah.
Oh, don't you? I do. In fact, I actually go most weekends.
Good job. Okay, good. Yes, Sona.
Do you? I can't afford to go out every weekend.
Mehdi, next.
It's B. Are you?
I didn't hear. I didn't see you.
I didn't see you at Thomas' birthday, but last Saturday. Oh, why did you go?
Why didn't you?
Why didn't you go?
Okay, yes. All right, Elena.
I did go. but I arrived really late because my car broke down.
Good. Good job. Okay, Dasha, last.
Oh, that's why I didn't see you. I left early. I fancy a drink. I'm really thirsty after all that dancing, so let's go. So do no, 1 second. So am I. Oh,
No.
yeah.
No.
I'm really thirsty.
Yeah. So am I. Yes.
Okay.
Good. Okay, good job. Okay, now let's go to page 10. Okay, there is some special thing. There is actually one special thing when you are talking
Yes,
about
thank you. I want to go.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right, bye. All right, have a nice day. Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah, bye. Okay, so when you're reading something strange and you want to speak to someone about something spooky, okay, there is a very special intonation and sentence rhythm that you have to follow up. I want to see how do you read these. Elena, please.
I dreamt that I saw a ghost last night.
Okay, close. Okay, next, Dasha.
Did you? So did I. How spooky.
Good. All right. Yeah. Sona.
Excuse me, I can't find.
Yeah, here.
Where
I don't.
we-
Here.
I don't. Yeah. Excuse me. I dreamt that I saw a ghost last night. Did you? Or did I? How spooky.
I need you to read the next, actually. I don't.
Oh, excuse me. I don't believe in fortune telling, don't you? I do.
Okay, now let's listen how do they read this, okay?
1.14. I dreamt that I saw a ghost last night.
Did you? So did I. How spooky. I don't believe in fortune telling.
Don't you? I do.
Okay. Dasha, you were close, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So there are some special kind of stress in a sentence while you're reading something spooky or weird. You will say, I dreamed that I saw a ghost last night. Then you want to ask that person, did you? So did I. How spooky is that? Yeah. Then, for example, here, I don't believe in fortune telling. Don't you? I do. Yeah. So you have to try to imply your meaning to that other person with some intonation and rhythm, because that other way you will sound like a robot and other people will not understand your emotions sometimes. Okay. And in each language it's different. For example, in Russian, the way that you read things, I guess, is different from the way that you do in English. Okay, so now let's complete these sentences the way that is true for you. Okay. Elena, I'm not very good at, and you have to name an activity.
Let me think. I'm not very good at. Actually, I don't know. I'm good at everything. No, I'm kidding. No, it's a joke. It's a joke.
Okay.
I can't answer.
I can.
Okay, Sona, please.
I'm not very good at swimming.
Oh, okay. Sonia, it's my answer as well.
Good. Okay, now Elena, please agree with her in the way that we learned already about auxiliary verbs. Sona said, I'm not very good at swimming. Elena, agree with it.
Neither am I.
Good job. Okay, now Dasha, you will read this sentence.
Excuse me, can I ask? We can see so am I, or
No.
it was incorrect?
If the sentence is negative form, okay, then you have to use neither. If it's positive, then you will say so am I. Okay?
Oh, okay, I understand.
So if she said I'm good at swimming, I mean you said I'm good at swimming, then you could say so am I. Okay. Yeah, okay, good. All right, now Dasha, please read this, and other people in case you agree with that, you will show that with the way of auxiliary verb. Okay.
I'm going to cook a pie tonight.
What?
Cook a pie. Cook a cake.
Maybe bake.
Oh yeah. I'm going. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I'm going to bake. Yeah, bake a cake tonight.
Okay. You can ask question. Oh, do you? Really?
And you girls.
So am I.
Okay, and also you could ask, oh, do you? Yeah, or are you going to make a cake tonight? Wow, great. Send some of it for us. Okay. All right, good. Next, please, Alina.
I love pop music.
Oh, so do I. Oh, do you? So do I.
Okay, Sona, what about you?
So am I. No, so do I.
Yeah, here is a verb, so do I.
Yes,
Good
yes,
job.
right.
Okay. Sona, next is yours. I don't like.
I can't answer this question.
Okay.
Really
So
difficult.
Dasha.
Oh yeah, I don't like. Холодец. Do you remember we talked about
Yes.
it?
So neither am I. Neither do I.
Okay. Good job. What about you, Alina?
You said you don't like холодец.
Imagine you like it. Yeah. Imagine you like it.
I do like it.
Yeah. You can say, don't you? I do love it. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Next.
I've never read Harry Potter.
Oh yes.
Okay. So.
I'm shocked.
I'm sorry, Sonia, that I disappointed you.
Okay, so Sonia, please react in English to this situation.
Really? I can't believe it. I'm shocked.
So how can you say that? Oh, really? Haven't you? I have. It's a really nice story. Please give it a try. You gotta give it a try. Okay, what about you, Dasha? Have you read it?
Neither have I.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Sonia is now disappointed at both of you.
I'm shocked. I really need to go after that.
Okay.
But have you ever watched the movie Harry Potter?
Of course, movie yes, but not
the book.
Okay.
I watched just the first part, but not all of them. I know there are a lot.
Okay. Okay. So, Sona, please, here. I'd love to live in.
I'd like to live in Italy. Not now, but
not now. Okay. Okay. Others, please.
Would you? So would I?
Okay. Or you can say so do I.
Okay. So would I? It's not correct.
It's not a good sentence.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Dasha.
Yeah. I just think about Italy. Okay, so you'd like to live. Oh, you'd like to live in Italy, but why? Can you say something like this? Because I don't want to live in Italy, so that's why I can't say.
So okay, yeah. Do you? I don't. I don't.
Do you? But I don't. Yeah, that's right.
Okay, good.
No, I don't want to.
Okay, you don't want to. Okay.
Okay, now we will do the last. I was very Alina.
I was very naughty as a child.
Okay.
But I'm not sure actually.
Oh, really? So was I.
Okay. Sona.
Oh, really? I'm shocked. Sorry. I'm not.
So you say, but I wasn't. But I wasn't.
Okay, I was.
Okay, good. Now let's go to page 105. We are going to do like some questions, side sheet questions. 105. Okay, now let's do it this way. Dasha, you are a side chick, like you are a fortune teller, and you're going to guess 3 things about Alina, these 3 questions, and 3 things about Sona.
Okay.
Okay, and Sona, Alina, you have to say whether it's correct or not. Okay.
So
Okay.
the first 3 things about Alina, yeah.
Yes.
Alina.
Elena.
Sorry. Yeah.
It's okay.
Elena. Yeah. Alina, I think your favorite color is red.
No, it's not.
Okay. Sorry.
No.
Okay, but you gotta answer what is your favorite.
My favorite color is purple.
Purple.
Okay.
Okay.
It's close. Okay.
It's close, really close.
Yes.
Like the same color.
Yes, you gotta act like a side chick, like a person who can't do fortune telling. Okay, so you say, I saw something like purple here. Okay.
I can see that you were born in I don't know, in Ukraine.
Yes, it's true.
Okay, yes.
You're right.
Yes. So my magic is working. Number 3, you really like sport or hobby. Oh, you really like cooking.
Yes, it's true. I like.
Okay. So number 4, I forgot your name. What's your name?
Sona.
Sonia. Yes, that's right. Sonia. So number 4, you an activity last week. You no. Oh, I know. You was at home last week.
You were.
Sorry, that's right. You were at home last weekend. Yes? No?
Yes.
Okay.
Like everyone.
Yes. You haven't been to I don't know. You haven't been to Budapest?
Yes.
Okay.
I haven't.
Yeah. Okay. Good. And you would like to be able to fly?
Excuse me, can you repeat?
Yeah, to fly. You would like to be able to fly. Yes.
What is it?
That you can have. That you can fly. You'd like to
a
have
bird.
this skill. Yeah, this skill. It's about extra skills that you can have.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes, you are a fortune teller. You could guess all of them except one.
Yeah,
correctly.
that's right. It just was
That
the beginning.
was very close. Now, Alina, you gotta guess 3 things about Dasha. Also, Sona, you are going to guess 3 things about Dasha. Try to act like a side chick or a person who is fortune teller. Okay.
First 3.
Alina. No, say it's 7, 8, and you choose one, whatever.
Okay.
You want.
Dasha, I see that you can't dancing very well.
You can't dance very well.
Dance very well.
Oh, I hope I can.
Okay.
They see you can't.
Okay, sorry.
I see you can't.
Thank you.
You're welcome anytime.
Okay.
Okay. You are very good at cooking.
Cooking, yeah, as you. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So, I see your favorite color is black.
Black, like a cat. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. My first cat was black.
I knew this.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. All right, Sona, please now.
You can't swimming very well.
Oh yeah, that's right. I swim like a frog.
Like a frog?
Yeah.
Then you
frog is-
can swim.
It's frog style. It's just the only way I can swim.
Okay.
Like before, I can't know.
Mm-hmm.
And you are very good at eating.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's about it.
Good at eating?
Yeah. So why? Why? Yes. It's a sport.
Yes, it's so difficult.
Yeah.
So am I.
Ah.
Sorry,
Okay.
girl, but I can teach it. I really professional it.
Okay, good. Okay, please, next.
Okay. You read last weekend. Read.
Oh yeah, I read last weekend. Yeah, okay, maybe.
Yeah, it's correct.
Do you read?
It could be true, yeah.
Harry Potter.
Oh yes. Stop
I
it.
hope, but I don't believe it.
I think you.
Okay, all
Thank
right, very good. Thank you very much. That was awesome. Good job. Okay, now, I think we can't finish this topic, but okay, let's give it a try. Do you think that you can tell about someone's personality by just looking at their handwriting or their signature?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Can you? What can you tell about that person by just looking at their signature, or what's their signature can tell you about?
Is it shy person, self-confident person, or something like this?
Or
Okay, what kind of signs or patterns tell you that someone is shy, for example?
I think the letter should be really small, and the signature should be really short or light, like light. I mean, like not.
not press the
Press,
pen.
yeah, yes. If the person, doesn't press the pen, but just touch the paper, really careful.
Okay, what about you, Alina? What do you think?
I agree with Dasha, and also I think that, for example, when the person like draw all these letters, and it is very accurate person and probably open-minded, and I don't know, like and. I don't know this word in Ukrainian, but in English, I mean that a person who doesn't have mess in her room, for example. Is it accurate? No, it's not.
No, it's a disciplined person.
Yes,
well
disciplined person.
Okay,
yes.
Or a neat person. Okay. All right, good. Yes. Sona, what about you?
I think if a person too much, I don't know, press when he writes, he's strong and more confident person. And if letter, I don't know how to say it in English.
Okay. It's okay. So now I'm going to read for you a text very fast, and then we are going to listen something about an expert who will tell us what all of these signature can tell you about. Okay. So your signature is part of your handwriting that says the most about your personality. It's quite common for your signature to change during your life because it reflects. What does reflects mean?
Like show.
It shows how you develop and evolve. What does evolve mean?
It's a synonym for develop.
Yes, developing or getting better. Yeah. So you may have more than one signature. For example, a more formal signature when you sign a credit card or your passport, and an informal signature, just your first name when you sign a birthday card. Our signature is very much part of the way in which we present ourselves to the world. So it can give some important clues. What does clues mean?
Mm, I can't explain.
Yeah, it's more like it's like to say ideas. So
Mhm.
it can give
Oh.
some important ideas about the kind of person we are and how we feel about ourselves. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Now we are going to listen to the first audio file, which is about what's in your signature. Your name, your private self. Let's see what it tells us.
1.17. What's in your signature?
Our signature is very much part of the way in which we present ourselves to the world, so it can definitely give us some clues about the kind of person we are and how we feel about ourselves. As you know, a person's signature usually consists of a first name and a surname, or an initial and a surname. Your first name represents your private self, how you are with your family, and your surname represents your public self, the way you are at work or school and in your social life. If you use only initials either for your first name or your surname in your signature, this means that you're more secretive and protective about either your private or public self. Now, look at the space between your name and surname. Are the two names very close together, or is there a reasonable space between them? The more space there is between your name and your surname, the more you wish to keep these two parts of your personality separate.
Okay, so Alina,
Mhm.
what does it mean if you just write your surname?
If you just write your surname, it's like your public self, and you use it at work or at school.
Or more formal situation.
Yes, more formal situation.
Sona, are you there?
Yes.
Yes. What does it mean if there is a very big space between your first name and surname?
I don't know.
What about you, Alina? What did he say?
He said that if a person writes down these two parts separately, so the biggest space between it is, then the more that person wants to keep two parts separately, like your private life and your public life.
Very good. Yes, exactly. So if you just write, what does it mean? If you just write your name, your first name, Sona. What personality does it show?
Family.
No. What about you, Alina? What do you think?
That you are very secretive about.
Yes, secretive and protective. Secretive. Do you know what a secretive means?
You don't want to share your life with others.
Others, yes. So when you are secretive, you don't want to share anything with others. Okay, good. All right, now let's listen to the second part.
1.18. The size of your signature.
Now let's look at the size of your signature. If your first name is bigger and more prominent in your signature, this normally means that your private self is more important to you than your public self. If your surname is bigger and more prominent, this probably means that your public self is more important to you. If your whole signature is very big compared with the rest of your writing, this normally means that you're quite a self-confident person. Some people actually sign in capital letters, which suggests that they may be big-headed or even arrogant rather than just self-confident. On the other hand, people who sign their name with a very small signature tend to be insecure and have low self-esteem.
Okay, so your first name is bigger than your surname. What does it mean?
Do you more a private life more important to you?
Very good, yes. Your surname is bigger than your first name.
Your public life more important.
Alina, what does it mean your whole signature is big?
It means that you are self-confident
Mhm,
person.
mhm. What about when you sign in capital letters? What does it mean then?
Capital letters, it means that you are arrogant
And
and
big-headed.
big-headed. Yes.
And what about when your signature is small, Sona?
I can't understand this part.
Okay, it's okay. What about you, Alina?
It means that you have a low self-esteem.
And you are?
You are a shy person. Insecure.
Insecure.
Okay.
Do you know what does insecure mean?
It's the opposite for secure.
Sona, you know that word, right?
Yes. Excuse me, I have to go.
Sure. Okay, bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so good. Now, legibility. It's good you are here because then I would teach myself.
Okay.
So, what does legibility mean?
Legibility, I don't know.
Okay,
Maybe
something.
maybe that you, as I see on these pictures, maybe that you can like understand what there is written.
Very good, exactly.
Yes.
Legibility, it means how easy it is to read that.
Mm-hmm.
So if something is legible, you can read it. If it's illegible, it's hard to read it.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's listen to this one.
Okay.
1.19. The legibility of your signature.
Another important factor is how legible your signature is. In other words, how easy it is to read. A legible signature tends to mean that you're a person with clear ideas and objectives. On the other hand, if your signature is difficult to read, this may imply that you're somebody who doesn't think very clearly and that you may be disorganized or indecisive. It can also mean that you're quite secretive. Generally speaking, the more illegible your signature is, the less assertive you probably are as a person.
Okay. What does assertive mean? Do you know?
I didn't get it.
When you are an assertive person, whatever you say, other people will do them. It's like that. So you're sure about what you say.
Can you spell this word?
Yeah, assertive. It's like assertive, like this.
Oh, it's like a derivative from a certain,
Yeah,
like this.
like that.
I got it.
Okay.
So,
All right. So when your signature is legible.
Yes, it means that you have clear ideas and like people can understand you.
And the more legible your signature is,
then the more assertive
you are.
You are, yes.
Okay, now let's listen to the last part, the angle of your signature. Rising means going up, descending means going down. Yeah, descending. So let's listen.
1.20. The angle of your signature.
Finally, I want to say something about the angle of your signature. That's to say, whether your signature is horizontal or goes up or goes down on the page. A rising signature, one which goes up, means that you're the kind of person who, when you're faced with problems, will work hard to overcome them. You're a determined person, and probably optimistic and ambitious. A descending signature, that is one which goes down, suggests that you're the kind of person who gets disheartened or depressed when you're faced with problems, perhaps because you're not very self-confident. A horizontal signature, one which goes straight across the page, usually indicates a person who is well-balanced and emotionally stable, and someone who is generally satisfied with the way their life is going. But it's worth bearing in mind that the angle of our signature may change at different times of our lives, depending on how we're feeling.
Okay, so a rising signature indicates
that when a person faces with problems, it can he or she can work harder and gain all this, not gain, maybe I don't know this word, like
Mm-hmm.
to.
Mm-hmm. Okay, it's okay. What about the descending signature?
Descending means that it's hard to face the problems and
To
you're
overcome.
oh yes, this word, overcome the problems, and you're not self-confident and maybe depressed.
Mm-hmm. What does overcome mean?
That you can overcome your problems.
Overcome your problem means you can solve these problems. So
yes.
you can beat them. Okay. So a horizontal signature. What about that?
Means that you are well balanced
Mm-hmm.
and maybe successful in your work.
Yeah, maybe. Okay. So according to these information that you just heard, let's interpret some of these signature. Let's see how you do that. So what about this one?
This one, probably it's illegible.
Mm-hmm.
And a person is if it is illegible, it's like doesn't.
It's not assertive.
Yes, it's not assertive.
Mm-hmm.
And this first letter is quite big.
Mm-hmm.
Then the person wants to.
It's a first name.
It's so hard. Yes.
It's first name.
So it's this person wants to for this person his private
Personal,
life is more important than public.
Okay. And also it's a rising or ascending signature.
Yes, rising.
So
and this person is hardworking and optimistic.
Oh wow, you're reading signatures. Very good. What about this one? Leo something.
Okay. This person I don't know, it's so hard.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's okay. The first name is in capital letter. I don't need you to read this. I want you to use different word for describing personalities. So I don't need you to be a signature.
Okay.
So try to describe that person any way that you like. It can be wrong. I don't care about these.
Okay, I think this person is very accurate. And as I heard that the space between the first name and the last name is quite big, and it means that the person wants to keep separately his private and personal life. And also this is horizontal signature, and it means that his life is well balanced and he or she is satisfied with his life.
Wow, very good. Yeah, and also this word, the first name is written with a capital letter.
Yes.
So
I don't remember.
Okay.
Maybe he has
sign in capital letter.
Capital letter. It means that he is like
arrogant.
Yes, arrogant.
And big-headed.
Yes.
Okay, very good. Good job. So, yeah, so everything is clear. I hope so. And do you have any question from any part?
No.
No, everything is clear, right?
Everything is clear.
Okay, that's very good. So take care of yourself and
Thank
stay
you
safe.
too.
Thank you. Time.
Thank you for your lesson.
Yeah, that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
See you.
See you.
Bye.